It's no longer news that Real Madrid are the champions of the UEFA Champions League, winning for the 15th time in the row, or rather 15th time in their history. However, what is news is that Kylian Mbappe, yes, is set to sign, sealed, and set to be delivered as he'll be joining Real Madrid from the 1st of July once the La Liga transfer window opens. On that note, welcome you to another edition of Sports Lounge on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. My name remains Oluwole. Of course, stories from the boxing scene whereby looking like the bronze bomber is no longer what we used to know after losing to Zhang in the matchroom 5 versus 5 boxing events that went down in Saudi Arabia. And of course, it's already getting to the heated moments in Roland Garros as Philip Alessimo was knocked out by Carlos Alcaraz to set up a quarterfinal match against Tsitsipas. Yes, just take this so much from the Nigerian football scene. Of course, the NPFL games that rounded up match day 34 fixtures. The results will be definitely give out the results. And of course, yes, we know that it's countdown to the World Cup qualifiers between Nigeria, Super Eagles of Nigeria, and of course Bafana of South Africa. That game going down this Friday, 7th of June. Of course, a lot of players have already hit camp. The likes of Kelechi Iheanacho, Wilfred Ndidi, Samuel Chukwueze are all in camp and raring to go. So bringing some stories from the Eagles camp and so much more on Sports Lounge. So just take this breather and then we'll start from the boxing ring. Yes, Britain's Daniel Dubois won the interim IBF heavyweight title after having a brilliant 8th-round stoppage of Filip Hrgović to set up a potential bout with Britain's Anthony Joshua in September. Of course, Hrgović, who had a cut above both eyes, was inspected by the ringside doctor and then was advised by the referee to halt the contest. Of course, Daniel Dubois, and of course AJ, who will be likely facing each other because for Daniel Dubois, he has been stepped up. Of course, let's not forget he fought Alexander Usyk and lost to him, but then he's become the mandatory challenger for Usyk's IBF belt, and because of that, because of that step up in after defeating Filip Hrgović, he'll be taking on Anthony Joshua. For Daniel Dubois, he stated that I've heard the next opponent will be AJ, so bring it on. Of course, he's ready to fight against AJ, and of course, we know for Anthony Joshua, his eye is on any of the belts to take it, and then eventually, possibly even have another third bout against Alexander Usyk. But fingers crossed, that bout can only happen when the rematch between Usyk and of course Tyson Fury goes down on December 21st. At the end of the encounter, yes, like I said, the bronze bomber looks like he has finally lost touch and he's no longer that boxer we used to know. I'm talking about Deontay Wilder, who suffered his career 5th round stoppage to Zhang of China. I would say it was quite an humiliating performance from the bronze bomber. And even at the end, after Zhang knocked him out in the 5th round, he couldn't even relate with the pressman. He had to just go back. He was ushered out by his team, and he wasn't even able to give any press conference. And it looks like it's the end of Deontay Wilder. I mean, after suffering the defeat against Joseph Parker December last year, and then of course looked like he was going to use his bout against Zhang to bounce back, but then it didn't look like we have that. The bronze bomber the fighting and that aggressive nature of him anymore. And sadly, it was a sorry sight for him after losing the 5th round. So, other boxing events are coming up, and then of course it's going to be interesting boxing time. Like I said, later this year we're going to likely see a bout between Daniel Dubois and of course Anthony Joshua. Moving from there to the tennis court, whereby interesting times right now regarding Roland Garros, as Carlos Alcaraz was able to battle his way to the quarterfinals, overcoming his opponent in the 5th round. I'm talking about Philip Auger-Aliassime, 6-3, 6-3, 6-1 to ensure that he made it to the quarter-finals. Of course, for Alcaraz, he stated, "I'm really happy with the performance today. I think I played a real high level of tennis. I'm happy with myself, my shots, and my movement." Of course, he'll be taking on Greek 9C Stefanos Tsitsipas, who went past world number 35 Matteo Naldi, 3-6, 7-6, 7-4, 6-2, 6-2. Of course, Alcaraz is going to be targeting his first French Open title, having won the US Open and of course Wimbledon last year. And despite the fact that he had injury with his forearm, but then he's been able to come in with a very good, good form in the clay courts, and he's been doing quite well in all his games, especially when he went past Sebastian Korda in the 3rd round. For Aliassime, he needed, despite playing against Alcaraz, he needed some treatment, and from there he couldn't get himself back. For Stefanos Tsitsipas, it's been a good tournament for him as well. He got past Andrei Rublev in the 3rd round, of course. Then after getting past Matthew Arnaldi in the 4th round. So interesting matchup to look forward to between Stefanos Tsitsipas and of course Carlos Alcaraz. Let's not forget defending champion of the Roland Garros, Novak Djokovic, is still in, and so we're looking forward to an interesting matchup in the in the Roland Garros ATP session of Roland Garros. Speaking of still in Roland Garros, Iga Swiatek, world number 1. She just needed about 40 minutes to get past her opponent to make it to the quarterfinals, winning both games 6-love, 6-love. I mean, it's been a year whereby it's been a good year for Iga Swiatek. I must say, she got past Anastasia Potapova to reach the quarterfinals of the French Open. It's a good one for her. For her, she said it went pretty quick. So I was really focused and in the zone. I wasn't looking at the score, so I continued working in my game. Of course, she'll be taking on Wimbledon champion Marketa Vondrousova, who went past Olga Danilovic 6-4, 6-2. And of course, for Coco Gauff as well, she was able to also make it to the quarterfinals after winning 6-1, 6-2 over Elisabetta Coserato of Italy. And of course, another Jabua as well has also made it to quarterfinal, defeating Denmark's Clara Thorson 6-4, 6-4. So interesting games to look forward to regarding the quarterfinals of the Roland Garros. Of course, these athletes, tennis players, are just doing everything to ensure that we have a fantastic Grand Slam. And so, like I said, the big ladies or the big boys are still in it. So, way to look forward to it. Hopefully, the likes of Coco Gauff and then, of course, possibly Gasweta, maybe they might meet each other somewhere, one way or the other. They might definitely get to meet each other in the semis if they eventually get past their own opponents. Of course, from there we wrap up this part of the segment of the show in the basketball scene, where it's interesting times regarding the NBA playoffs, as we know that we're looking forward to game 1 between Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics. Yes, of course, for Dallas Mavericks, they went past Minnesota Timberwolves, defeating them 4-1 in the series to ensure that they won the Western Conference. And of course, for Boston Celtics, they swept past Indiana Pacers 4-0 for Indiana Pacers. And so, interesting matchup between Dallas Mavericks and the Minnesota Timberwolves, and that will be getting to look forward to. Game 1 will be going out Friday morning Nigerian time, of course Thursday American time, but 1 a.m. Nigerian time on Friday game one between Boston Celtics and Dallas Mavericks. Of course, the Celtics will be hosting game one. So on that note, we'll just leave the stories from the other sporting section, and then of course we take this traffic updates and come back from stories from Nigerian sporting.
All right, so it's still looking quite good in and around most major parts of town. From our live camera feeds, I confirm that around the Ogudu end, things are looking very, very good, coming from the car wash and inwards Ifak all the way through to Ogudu and moving onwards journey. Lakbere. I have a view of the Ojota end, coming from the new garage end. In fact, I have a view as far back as Odoyalaro Bridge, where it is looking really, really good inwards and outwards at this time. Nothing to worry about. Lagos Ibadan Expressway, from what I can see right here, it is looking good. I can see the Magodo end. I can see parts of the just by the Alausa pedestrian bridge on the expressway, looking really good. The entrance into Magodo around that end also not bad, and by and large traffic is looking really friendly. Like by Gada inwards and outwards, from what I can see right here, it's also a very, very good one. Back to you, Logo.
Thank you, Ken, for that traffic update. And of course, yes, from the Nigerian sports scene, where we know that yes, River Supers have returned back home. They are winning the bronze medal, yes, in the Basketball African League, and they did quite well for themselves. No, despite them not having any of the players making the all-stars team of the tournament, but then they were able to ensure that they got themselves in a good state, and even their manager in Oga, he was able to ensure that he got himself, being the best coach of that tournament. And I must say, for Rivers Opals, they've done quite well for themselves, and they've even the Nigerian Basketball Federation have lauded them for their impressive, performance. Of course, like I said, their head coach Oga Odwadu, was named the basketball coach for the year. Of course, with the fact that they were able to get past the likes of US Dons, even defeat US Monastery. Of course, they lost to AS Donetsk, but then they were able to defeat the likes of US Monastery and even Cape Town Tigers from South Africa. And so, good run for them. Congratulations to the team. And they were welcomed to Nigeria by the Minister of Sports, Senator John Eno, and of course, even the Rivers State Sports Commissioner, Barrister Chris Green. So, hopefully, this can support them all, and even look forward to next year's Basketball African League. This is the first time any Nigerian club basketball team will make it to the podium regarding the Basketball African League. Still sticking with other sports from Nigeria, of other sports on the Nigerian sports scene. Yes, the AFN have unveiled plans for the relay athletes that will be representing Nigeria at the forthcoming Paris 24 Olympics. I mean, yes, we're gradually looking forward to the Olympics, and the Association of Athletic Federation of Nigeria have unveiled plans that for the relay teams. Of course, the team will be taking part in championship in Douala, and then of course they'll be traveling to Germany to also compete in another close camping exercise. Hopefully, in that way, we can have our athletes, the track and field athletes, especially track athletes in the relays, give a very good performance at Paris 2024. Roughly about less than 2 months to the Olympic Games, and so, or rather less than a month to the Olympic Games, and so hopefully we have our athletes do quite well at the Olympic Games. And of course, still sticking with stories from the Nigerian sports scene, yes, our players. Yes, the players, Ndidi and Chikwueze and 10 other Super Eagles players have landed in Akwa Uyo to get in preparation for the qualify against South Africa and of course Benin Republic. The set of players that have hit camp right now according to reports that emerging from Wilfred Ndidi Kelechi Iheanacho, Samuel Chukwueze, Fisayo Bashiru, Terry Murphy, Ismaila Sodi, Kenneth Igbokwe, Ojo Olorunleke, Stanley Wabali, Benjamin Tanimu, Ibrahim Olawoyin, Victor Boniface, and Raphael Oyedika. So these are players that have already hit camp as at before I came into the studio. So a good number of players are expected to hit camp later this evening and of course tomorrow morning. So hopefully we have a full squad and Coach Finidi George gets these players together as we get ready for that qualifier against South Africa. We really need to start picking up points. I mean, our first two games in the 2026 World Cup qualifier both ended in draws, 1-1 draw between Lesotho and of course Zimbabwe. We need to pick up maximum points at least against South Africa, and hopefully the guys get to understand each other, go through the same sessions under head coach Finidi George, and hopefully we get a good result against South Africa and Benin Republic. Before we move over to the European sporting results from match day 34 of the Nigerian Premier League games have gone down, and definitely lots of the teams, of course, squeaky ball time regarding the Nigerian Premier League, and everybody's trying to see how to fight for their, position in the league, and the likes of Remo Stars, Enugu Rangers, they're all doing everything possible to get necessary results, because I mean we all know that we're gradually getting to the final moment of the league season, and of course quite interesting. Teams are doing quite well to do their best to get the necessary, get themselves into the necessary position. Of course, results from match day 34. Enyimba defeated Rivers United, who confirmed yesterday that Stanley Eguma is no longer their manager for the season. They lost 4-1 to Enyimba of Aba. It ended 3-2 in favor of Bayelsa United over Plateau United, and Sunshine Stars went to Gombe United to get a valuable 3 points as it defeated them 2-0. It ended the barren draw between Enugu Rangers and Sporting Lagos. Same at the moment, it's also goalless between Shooting Stars of Ibadan and Abia Warriors, and then of course it ended 1-0 between Niger Tornadoes and of course Kwara United. Of course, yesterday games that were also played, match day 34 fixtures. We had the likes of Doma United as well playing yesterday, and results that have come in regarding that game. They defeated Lobby Stars by 1-0. Remo Stars defeated Kano Pillars 2-1, and then of course Bendel Insurance defeated Castina United by 2-0. Of course, tomorrow Monday night football between Aqua United. Aqua will be playing at home, and they will be hosting. They'll be at home as well, so they'll be able to ensure that possibly they survive relegation. Yes, they'll be hosting at Land of Owerri. So 4 p.m. Nigerian time tomorrow, Monday night football. Aqua United against Atland of Owerri. So hey, interesting. Of course, the table as it stands right now, with the fact that Enyimba won, there are just 2 points between themselves and Kano Pillars, and rather Enugu Rangers. Enugu Rangers lead with 61 points after 34 games. Enyimba of Aba lead with have 59 points after playing 34 games. Of course, all thanks to their 4-1 victory over Rivers United this evening. Remo Stars are also in third position. Of course, the victory over Kano Pillars put them in a good state, but then difference between them and Enyimba is now +3 goal difference, with Remo Stars having +12 and Enyimba having +15. And then, of course, in fourth position, they're still playing at the moment, Shooting Stars with 54 points after 34 games, and top 5 Lobby Stars wrap it up with 52 points after 34 games. And the bottom 5, we have Sporting Lagos in 16th position with 42 points. Bayelsa United 17th position with 42 points as well after 34 games. Aqua United, they have a game in hand. Of course, they will be playing tomorrow against Atland of Owerri. They have 40 points. And then, of course, Atland, who will be taking on Aqua United after 2 points after playing the 3 games. Of course, that game against Aqua United will make both teams. It's more like a 6 points, 6 pointer for both teams. Then whoever wins gets all points. Or if they ends in barren affair, or of course a goal, split of share, they both share the points. Well, whichever it is, it will still maintain the fact that Aqua will be above Atlant of Owerri, Atlant FC of Owerri. But wait to see how that game pans out. Like I said, 4 p.m. Monday night football or Monday evening football is going to be going down between Aqua United and of course Atlanta. Of course, team first from bottom, Gombe United 25 points after 34 games. So we just take this short. Okay, yes. Then of course we're moving over to the European sports scene, and of course last night, interesting, Real Madrid won their 15th Champions League medal or title, defeating Borussia Dortmund 2-0 goals by Dani Carvajal, and then of course Vinicius Junior ensuring that Madrid will be winning their 15th Champions League medal and the 5th one for Coach Carlo Ancelotti. Now is the only manager that has won the most Champions League. The next to him are the likes of Pep Guardiola, Zinedine Zidane, Bob Paisley, all have won the Champions League 3 times. So good one, congratulations to Real Madrid, and of course on that, last night was quite a good one for them, and like the end, like a crescendo, I must say, for the likes of Toni Kroos, who has eventually bowed out from club football. Of course, we know that at the end of this season, he's going to be retiring after representing Germany at the Euro 2024. Yes, he has said he's going to be retiring from football. But then, moving on from there, the biggest news right now is Kylian Mbappe has signed a 6-year deal with Real Madrid. Yes, he has agreed terms with Madrid, and now he's going to be moving to the La Liga champions from when the La Liga transfer window opens on the 1st of July. Of course, this was really not going to be a surprise news, because right after he last summer trying to push a deal to get past, leave PSG and go to Madrid, PSG stopped that move, and looked like he had already made up his mind. So he decided, you know what, I'll do one more season, but then I'll be leaving as a free agent. And so reports have suggested that he has signed a 5-year deal with Real Madrid, and he'll be earning as much as £12.8 million per season. That's about 15 million euros in the season, plus a sign-on bonus of 150 million euros. Wow, over 5 years. Of course, you keep a percentage of his image right, and then of course he would also be playing alongside Luka Modric, who has also signed a 1-year contract extension. Yes, Luka Modric's contract that ended by the end of this month, but then he has signed a new contract, a 1-year contract, to stay with Real Madrid. So interesting times for Madrid fans. You're having a beautiful star-studded team, the likes of Jude Bellingham, Luka Modric, Edouard Camavinga, and then of course adding it with Kylian Mbappe. I must say Madrid look like the team to beat for next season. And then of course we know we're gradually looking forward to the Euros, and most of these teams have started releasing their releasing their teams, and the likes of England, Jadon Sancho being dropped, some players also being dropped, Marcus Rashford. But then of course this week we're going to be seeing friendly games for most of these teams that will be taking part in Euro 2024. But another story, or another reports that has broken forth, is that Jose Mourinho, yes, he got sacked off his job in AS Roma, but guess what, he's going to become the new boss of Fenerbahce, and that is set to be announced during the course of this week. Yes, he's set to replace Ismail Kartal, who left Fenerbahce on Friday after they finished second in the league to City rivals, despite losing just one game and having a total of 99 points. They still didn't win the league. Fenerbahce didn't get to win the league or the Turkish Cup, and so Jose Mourinho has been contacted, and just minor details before he is going to be announced as the coach. Interestingly, this move by Fenerbahce looks like it's not just one that they are just being ambitious. They have backers, because Mourinho is one of the brand ambassadors for one of their airlines. Yes, one of the airlines based in Turkey. So, and then of course, they are also financially backed by the richest man in Turkey. So, I mean, it's just all about paperwork, and Jose Mourinho will be announced as the coach of Fenerbahce. So interesting time. Of course, build up to the Champions League yesterday when Jose Mourinho was asked. They asked him what he's looking forward to with Fenerbahce, and he stated that he's looking forward to taking them to the Champions League, bringing them back. But then, of course, it's going to be a long process as they would need to play 3 qualifiers before they get into the league phase. Of course, we know from next season, the UEFA Champions League 2024-2025 season will be played in the league format, and 10 games will be played, home and away, different teams, but then every team will get to play 10 different games, 5 home games and 5 away games. And so Jose Mourinho is looking forward to that, and he has stated that he's in it's going to be an interesting journey. Like he said, let's start our journey together. And so he's highly motivated to go on that journey, and hopefully you'll be able to bring some smiles to Fenerbahce fans. I will hope that, possibly we see some, some influx of, and of course, new feel from Turkish football with Jose Mourinho, coming in as the manager of Fenerbahce. Of course, they lost Adal Gula to Real Madrid, who also eventually was part of the team that won the Champions League last night. So interesting times regarding the club football. And then, of course, we're looking forward to the summer transfer window. Yes, we'll be keeping you posted on this end. But then, of course, before I step out of Furo, like I said, by this time next week, Nigeria will have taken on South Africa. And, of course, we're looking forward to that game against Benin Republic, Cheetahs of Benin. Hopefully, we get all 3 points in both games, and then we'll come back smiling and finishing top of the table where Nigeria is. Well, on that note, I will have to say my goodbyes now. As always, don't drink and drive. Respect every road user, and have a beautiful and blissful week ahead. My name remains Oluwole.